This is the Adidas F50 Elite Messi, and I'm going to tell you why this might be the best ever boot that Adidas have made for him. Starting with the fit. The boot for me has a very snug fit that wraps around your foot very nicely, especially in the midfoot area. The lockdown in the boot is also extremely good, and my feet feel very secure, especially with this burrito style tongue. And when it comes to comfort, the overall comfort of this boot is just sublime. The Hybrid Touch 1 upper is soft and pliable and gets softer as you continually play in them. And it's almost to the point these feel like real leather. The boot has this suede lining throughout, which just makes the boot feel a bit more comfortable and just feel more premium in general. And also there's some cushioning in the heel area, which just adds to the overall comfort of the boot itself. Personally, I didn't have any issues with like hot spots or like irritation. And the breaking time isn't too long at all. I'd say maybe 2 to 3 sessions in these, and these are like feel fully broken in. The upper just softens up very quickly. Now in terms of sizing, I went true to size with my usual 9.5 UK that I usually get in Adidas boots. And I'd say I'm overall happy with the fit. There is a tiny bit of space in the toe area, but be mindful because the F50s do come with 2 sets of insoles. So there's the speed insoles and there's also the comfort insoles. The comfort insoles take up a bit more volume inside your boots. So when I put those in, the like space in the toe area is pretty much almost non-existent. I'd say in terms of width, the boot has like a more, I'd say, average width. And because of the kind of burrito style tongue where you can adjust the kind of volume of the boot itself, I think if you're a wide foot player, I think you'd be alright getting these. Based on my kind of experience, I'd recommend most people to go true to size with these boots, but like I always kind of say in these videos, be mindful of your own preferences, whether you like your boots to feel like extremely snug or you want them a bit looser. But yeah, most people I would recommend going true to size. The Messi F50 uses the exact same outsole that you're going to find on the regular F50s, and that is the Spring Frame 360 outsole. I describe the stud pattern as more all-round rather than that kind of typical aggressive stud configuration that you do see on speed boots. I say this because it kind of features like a cornucopia of different stud shapes. You've got your chevrons in the forefoot, you've got your kind of half conicals in like the midfoot area, and then at the back you've got your like bladed studs. So it's just like a very balanced outsole. And in terms of performance, I think the outsole does a very good job. I always feel stable and mobile when I'm playing. I would say the outsole is responsive, but it doesn't have as much bite that I'd expect from a speed boot. Overall, the outsole, like I said, feels great. No issues with stud pressure whatsoever. Based on like the stud configuration, I've tried, I could say as well, that you could possibly get away with using these on turf, AG surfaces, whatever you call them. It's up to you. Like you can test them out and see how you feel, if it's too much rip or if there's not too much rip, but I'd say the studs are quite shallow, and like I said before, you've got a whole mix here, and I think you'd be fine. I think you can get away with it, in my opinion. When it comes to the upper, like I said before, it's made from Hybrid Touch 1.0, which was used on the Adidas F50 Adizero from 2014. And this would be more like the Messi colorways of that boot. So the kind of normal ones, I guess you could call them the main series ones, you only had like the Hybrid Touch in the forefoot, and then you had like this kind of like other synthetic in the back. But the Messi version was like Hybrid Touch the upper throughout. And for those of you who aren't too familiar with Hybrid Touch, I describe it as a synthetic which offers a leather-like feel. The upper also features some small micro texturing to kind of, I guess, enhance the grip on the ball. But in terms of performance, I'd say the upper does a good job of mixing the benefits of leather and a synthetic. Now the Hybrid Touch upper is quite thin, not as thin as the Sprint Web which is used on the usual F50, but because of how thin the upper is and just the feel of the material itself, you still get a bit of a barefoot feel for the ball, which is quite minimalistic. It's nothing too like grippy or anything like that. I'd also say because of like the leather-like feel, it feels a bit more traditional as well. Now overall, I'd say that the feel for the ball, whether you're dribbling, striking, passing, shooting, whether it is manipulating the ball in general, I'd say that the feel for the ball is responsive, yet also quite natural as well. And I probably should have mentioned as well, like there's not much toe spring to this boot. So toe spring is basically like a kind of raised toe box area. There's not much with this boot. So I'd say because of that as well, that kind of enhances the feel for the ball. And overall, you feel this like very close touch the ball when you're dribbling, which really helps with that kind of mind to ball connection. So I've used these boots since, say, when they first came out, like I think it was July time. And these are easily one of the best things that I've ever put on my feet. The boot is extremely well-rounded and almost everything that I want in a boot. Good comfort, great fit, responsive touch on the ball, and the outsole is pretty good as well. And the biggest compliment I can give these boots is that it offers that DPE, which is a distractless playing experience. Like, I'm very pedantic and picky when it comes to boots, but when I wear these, I just feel very like locked in whenever I play. Maybe that's placebo, but it helps at the end of the day. Now, not every boot will be perfect, so I'd say I have 3 gripes with this boot mainly. And these are very nitpicky, they don't really affect performance overall too much. So number 1, the burrito style tongue can be a bit annoying when putting them on. It can be a bit like, you know, it can get stuck and you have to like adjust it, and it's just a bit annoying sometimes. And the cosmetics of these boots will wear off. This black part you can see in like the toe area did kind of come off a bit on my left foot. And this last one, this is a bit more of like a personal preference one, but because it is a speed boot, I'd like the outsole to be a bit more kind of snappier and like springy. I don't necessarily get that with this boot. But overall, I'd say these are an excellent pair of football boots, and one that I definitely recommend if you're looking to get, like, I know they've got future colorways coming out. They've just released the LS style. There's the Bad Bunny ones, and then there's these leaked pink ones that look like that. Well, they go with the Inter Miami kit. But yeah, I definitely recommend these boots if you're looking to get them. And that's it for the review, guys. Let me know what you think of the boots. Do you like them? Do you dislike them? Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching. See you next time.